But let's get into it. The top 3. You got 10 bucks? Well, I got some good Nintendo games for you. So, at work today, somebody said I look like the Dan Locke guy from Facebook. Like, he's a bunch of ads. How do you know I'm not like everybody else? What up, YouTube? Nate here from Thrift Dweller, and today, Top 3 Tuesday. You got 10 bucks because I got some good games. That is the topic for today's Top 3 Tuesday, our show where we ask you to take an introspective look at the topic of the video and rank your responses from 3 to 1 and share them in the comments below. One thing I am noticing about the Nintendo market, if you will, especially looking on price charting, is that there's a big gap widening between like collectible games and the rest. So benefit for people who are just wanting to play games. There's a lot of really, I hate to use the word hidden gems. Oh yeah. I'm going by price charting here, but feel free to use whatever metrics you choose. Of course, these games are the prices loose, not complete in box. And again, before I get started, thank you to everybody who responded to Top 3 Tuesday episode number 4. Items that I would never sell from my collection. If you haven't checked it out yet, the link for that video will be in the description below. And also look out for the response video where I will respond to everybody who responds to these Top 3 Tuesday videos. In a separate video, you'll get a shout out, and I'll probably respond to your comments. We had one very interesting comment last video. But let's get into it. The top 3. You got 10 bucks? Well, I got some good Nintendo games for you. Number 3. For my list, I kind of wanted to think a little bit outside the standards of good Nintendo games. Air quotes. And if you look at this list, you can get a Super Mario Bros. 3 loose for 10 bucks. Of course, everyone knows that's a great game. So number 3 on this list, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Ultra. Konami. It's Konami. Now, I know this isn't like a secret or anything. This is a very popular game for the Nintendo. I'm sure you've heard of it before, but I think the reason I put it on this list is I wanted to make a case for it actually being a good game, because a lot of people regard it as not a good game. Well, people in my circles anyways. When people talk about Nintendo hard, I'm pretty sure this is on that list. If you're not a trained thumb assassin tiger, but graphically, I think it's a really good game. All the turtles look like the turtles. You got the characters there. There's like one scene where Shredder's talking to you and his hand's like coming out of the screen. But the presentation of this game is really good. It looks nice. The sprites are very well defined. The backgrounds look really nice. The music is actually really catchy to me. Gameplay wise, it can be really tough. I mean, as soon as you enter the sewer, you're just barraged with all these enemies coming at you. But it's not that hard. I guess I grew up with it as a kid, and I played it a lot, so I kind of knew the tips and the tricks of it, or like what character to use when and how to beat certain bosses. And I think in the game there's a nice progression from it's easy at the beginning and it just kind of ramps up the difficulty. The dam stage I heard was really tough for people, but I mean, like for me playing it as a kid growing up, I knew where all the bombs were. You get hit, yes, but I think it's almost impossible to do like a perfect no-hit run in this game. So I think that's why people might find this game not that fun. So my suggestions to those people, especially if you're a newcomer to the game, actually watch somebody beat this game, like a speed run on what's that channel? Games Done Quick. You'll see somebody do a speed run in that game, and you're like, man, it's not that hard. Of course, you're going to try that stuff, and it's not going to be as easy as that. But you'll start to see that there are certain ways to defeat certain enemies, certain tactics that you will implement. But personally, I don't think nostalgia comes into play when I think in my mind, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a fun game? The gameplay, like the hit detection, the fluid movement, it all really flows nicely. I think at the base core of this game, it's a fun game. Like it's beatable. I don't think it's unbeatable if you know how to do it. So again, I would recommend if it's your first time playing through it, or if you've been frustrated with this game in the past, watch a couple speedrunners. And like in chocolate, without the bitter, the sweet don't mean a thing. Of course, I like my chocolate extra dark and bitter. I also drink my coffee black. Number 2 on the list of you got 10 bucks. Well, I got some good Nintendo games for you. Codename Viper. So I paid $5 for this game. I think, let's check on price charting how much this game goes for. So right now on price charting, this game goes for $7.61 American. You can see there it's a Capcom game, and this was from the era that Capcom actually really did make quality games, like it says in their slogan. A lot of bangers coming up from Capcom. Actually, I was contemplating doing a top 3 Capcom Nintendo games. Codename Viper is one of those games that I don't really hear mentioned much in circles of retro video game videos. Sure, whatever, made sense. But basically, you play this guy who looks like he's wearing no pants, and you infiltrate this drug cartel. You may have to accept that some of these games have certain restrictions and limitations, but again, you're not going to be mad at Leonardo da Vinci for not painting on Photoshop. Codename Viper has a lot of good qualities in it, and it's under $10. It's $7.61. It's a good price. Anyways, you play this guy trying to infiltrate this drug cartel with no pants. The gameplay is kind of simple, yes, but as you kind of get used to the mechanics of the game, I think it becomes more enjoyable. Really, it's like it's a shooting platforming game. It's not as like fluid as like Ninja Turtles was. Like once you jump up, it's like Castlevania. You ever do that jump where you're like, damn, I'm screwed before you even like fully take off? But you got to go through the stage. You rescue hostages. You shoot the bad guys. Some of them take 2 shots, and you find a POW basically who has a bomb. And you can't beat the stage until you find the POW with the bomb. I explain this to you because I think if you understand the mechanics of the game, you accept the mechanics of the game and the whole concept, it becomes more of an enjoyable experience, right? Like I said, it is kind of rigid and it is kind of stiff, but you kind of learn to work within the parameters of that. Good thing about this game, there is a code system. So if you're playing it off original hardware, not emulating it, there is that advantage for you, okay? It's a very beautiful game. Typical of Capcom. I thought it was well crafted. So number 2 on my list, Codename Viper. Number 1 on my list, I think, criminally, actually I'm still happy this game is really cheap, Fazandu. Of course, most of us call it Faxandu, but there's a reason I called it Fazandu. I will get into that. This game was made by Hudson, 1988. Again, I'm going to say, I bring this game up. I don't think it's a surprise to a lot of people, but I don't think people think of it as a good game. Where me and my friend Ed, shout out to you 24-bit gamer for commenting in the last video, we consider this game a masterpiece on the Nintendo. First off, the presentation. The first thing you will notice is this game looks kind of poopy, but they do that on purpose. Very tone-full. I think they make good use of the Nintendo color palette here, very dreary and, you know, hopeless almost. I like all the NPCs in this game, like the king has his own little, like, the picture of him when he's talking to you, that's really, they all look tired, and there's a reason for that. And basically, as you progress through the game, you get more magic, more power-ups, you get stronger weapons, stronger magic, you get different items in the game, and you need to do that to kind of progress through this game. A little bit of backtracking, I think, at the beginning of the game, but as you go forward, it becomes more linear. The mechanics of the game, it is a little bit stiff, but as you play the game, you kind of get really used to it. And there's something about killing these enemies. It kind of makes this like, which is actually very satisfying when you're stabbing them with your sword. You know, I think as you learn to play this game and you get used to the mechanics, it becomes a very enjoyable experience in that regard. I love the music in this game. I think the music is fantastic. You ever have those moments where you're just sitting there and start humming something? I have those moments and I hum Faxandu. It is hard. I will say that it is hard. When you die, you get to continue via mantras, which are just passwords that you can plug into the beginning of the game. I love the enemies in this game, very alien-y and scary, much like Castlevania. Another one of those games where, you know, all the games on the Nintendo were very happy and cheery, as I remember, right? Adventure Island-y. And in this game was very dark, very eerie, and they did that on purpose. A lot of the points I bring up about this game come from this one, I guess you can call it a documentary of the game, from the channel Stop Skeletons from Fighting. A really good channel, I think. He did a documentary on Fazandu. There's a reason he calls it Fazandu. Check out that video, linked in the description below. He goes really in depth, and there's one stage where it's very eerie, and I never thought of it as deep as this. I just remember when I played this certain stage in the game, I did feel a sense of, you know, off-balanceness and eeriness in this level, and I just thought it was because of the music, but no, there's so many elements. In this one stage, you go backwards, right? It's not very clear. There's a fog around you in this stage, so you're not very sure of where you're stepping. There's certain times you'll even fall in holes. You're going from right to left which is totally counterintuitive from every game you've played before where you go left to right. So there's so many tricks that they throw at you to give this sense of dread and eeriness in this certain level. It's actually one of my favorite levels in this game, I think Ed as well. Zandu for the Nintendo Entertainment System. $9. That's a great deal for this game. Criminal! But it's personally one of my favorite games on the Nintendo, and it's under $10. So there you have it. 3 gems. Oh yeah. For $10 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. But I welcome you. Share your favorite gems for $10 or less from the Nintendo Entertainment System in the comments below, and tell me why you think they're good, because I think in a lot of cases from people who just kind of pick up the game and play it, you kind of need someone to explain to you why it's not necessarily that bad, and then you can kind of make up your own mind of it if it really is a bad game or not. Thank you to everyone who participates in Top 3 Tuesday. Look out for the response video to your comments for this episode on the channel. Subscribe now. Thank you very much. Give it a thumbs up and ring my bell. I think I'm supposed to say that now on these videos. But do what you want to do. Thank you very much. Top 3 Tuesday by EdT1138 signing off. I'm not EdT1138. I'm Nate. It's late again. I only shoot these videos when it's...